Proof of product rule and quotient rule. d over dx of fx is limit h is going to 0, fx plus h minus fx over h. And in product rule, we're trying to find d over dx of fx times gx, which is fx g prime of x plus f prime of x gx. And by using the rule, d over dx of fx times gx is when limit is going to h equals 0, fx plus h, gx plus h minus fx gx all over h. And by adding and subtracting fx plus h gx to this equation, limit h is going to 0, fx plus h, gx plus h minus fx plus h gx plus fx plus h times gx minus fx times gx all over h. And by separating this equation into two pieces, it will be limit when x plus h, gx plus h minus fx plus h times gx over h, and when limit h equals going to 0, fx plus h, gx minus fx times gx over h. And by taking out fx plus h for this equation and gx for this equation, it's going to be limit h is going to 0, fx plus h times gx plus h minus gx, and limit h is going to 0, gx times fx plus h minus fx over h. By plugging in 0 for h, fx times limit h is going to 0, gx plus h minus gx over h, plus gx limit h is going to 0, fx plus h minus fx over h. And limit h is going to 0, gx plus h minus gx h is g prime of x, and this equation is f prime of x. So product rule would equal fx times g prime of x plus gx times f prime of x. And for the quotient rule, d over dx of fx is limit h is going to 0, fx plus h minus fx all over h. And for quotient rule, we're trying to find d over dx when fx over gx equals limit h equals 0, fx plus h over gx plus h minus fx over gx all over h. And by multiplying gx plus h and gx to this equation, the equation would look like limit h is going to 0, fx plus h times gx minus fx gx plus h all over h times gx plus h gx. And by separating this equation into two pieces, limit h is going to 0 to 1 over g times x plus h times gx times limit h is going to 0, fx plus h times gx minus fx times gx plus h all over h. And for the first part of the equation, limit h is going to 0, 1 over gx plus h times gx can be written as when h is going to 0, gx times gx, which is gx squared. And for the second part of the equation, you can add and subtract fx times gx to limit h is going to 0, fx plus h times gx minus fx times gx plus h all over h. And when this fx times gx is plugged in, the equation would look limit h is going to 0, fx plus h times gx, and the equations plugged into the equation. And when limit h is going to 0, you can take out gx and fx from each side. It can be separated into gx times limit h is going to 0, fx plus h minus fx all over h, minus fx times limit h is going to 0, gx plus h minus gx all over h. And since limit h is going to 0, fx plus h minus fx all over h equals f prime of x, it can be written as gx times f prime of x minus fx times g prime of x. And by multiplying the first part and second part of the equation, the quotient rule will be gx times f prime of x minus fx g prime of x all over gx squared.